friends, Pinwatuni. Welcome to our daily online broadcast from the London Mindfulness Meditation Center with our evening Buddha Puja, chanting, Dhamma reflection and meditation. So we are going live simply for you to participate in the religious observances during the rains retreat, Vaskale, and to promote and help you practice the Dhamma, deepen your knowledge, or even recall and enhance your spiritual practice. So during the rains retreat, since the July full moon day in July, we have been reflecting on Dhamma sermons, and every day devotees are sponsoring, enabling you to listen and participate in the observances. So today the puja and the Dhamma reflection is sponsored by Mr. Priyanta Pagodarachi and Mrs. Shamali Mahbud Palakedon. So the family, Priyanta and Shamali, would like to bless their daughter Jasmine, who is celebrating her 13th birthday today. So many happy returns of the day from the London Mindfulness Meditation Center, as well as you from the online community. I share your blessings for Jasmine, who is celebrating her birthday today. They are also joined by Shamul Malkedon, as well as the younger daughter Bimalka. So the family came to the temple a few moments ago to make offerings to the Buddha and are participating from home now. So if you would also like to sponsor a puja or Dhamma sermon, please do contact us. We continue this series of Dhamma reflection and puja until 24th of October, when we hold our Katina robe offering ceremony. So with great respect, we will begin our worship now with the observation of 5 precepts. Please bear in mind, may the blessings of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha be upon Jasmine for her well-being, for her happiness and successful future. May every righteous aspirations of the family also be fulfilled, and you as an online community, may you also gain good health, happiness and success and prosperity. And also may every righteous aspirations be fulfilled. May the blessings of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha be upon you all for your well-being and happiness. So with those kind and righteous intentions, let us say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, say namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa 3 times. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Panati Satipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adinnādāna Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kāmesu Micchācārā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Musāvādā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Suramiraya Majjapamā Daṭṭhāna Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Tisaranena Saddhiṃ Pañcasīlaṃ Dhammam Sādhukam Surakkhitam Kattvā Appamādena Sampādetabbam. Let's worship the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagavā arahaṃ samma sambuddho vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhammasārathi Sattha deva manusānaṃ buddho bhagavāti buddhaṃ jīvitaṃ yāva nibbānaṃ saranaṃ gacchāmi ye ca buddhā atītā ca ye ca buddhā anāgatā Paccappannā ca ye buddhā aham vandāmi sabbadā Natti me saranang anyang buddho me saranang varang Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang padapang suvaruttamang Buddheyo khalito doso buddho khamatu tang mamang Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko Ehi passiko openayiko paccattang veditabbo vinyuhiti Dhammang jīvitaṃ yāva nibbānaṃ saranang gacchāmi Ye ca dhammā atītā ca ye ca dhammā anāgatā Paccappannā ca ye dhammā aham vandāmi sabbadā Natti me saranang anyang dhammo me saranang varang Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang dhammam ca tividhang varang Dhammeyo khalito dosa Dhammo kamatu tang mamang Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujjapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Samīcipatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadidang cattari purisa yugani Attha purisa puggala Esa bhagavato savaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakhineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punyakhetang lokassati Sanghang jivitang yava nibbānang saranang gacchāmi Ye ca sangha atita ca ye ca sangha anagata Paccapanna ca ye sangha ahang vandami sabbada Natti me saranang anyang sangho me saranang varang Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang sanghang ceti vidottamang Sangheyo khalito doso sangho kamatu tang mamang Kanasarappadittena dīpena tamadhangsina Tilokadīpang sambuddhang pujayāmi tamonudang Vannagandha gunopetang etang kusuma santating Pujayami munindassa siripada saroruhe Pujemi buddhang kusumena nena punyena metena ca hotu mokkhaṃ Pupphaṃ milayāti yatā idamme kāyo tatā yāti vināsa bhāvaṃ Adhivāsetu no bhante pāniyaṃ parikappitaṃ Anukampaṃ upādāya patiganhātu uttama Adhivāsetu no bhante gilāna paccayaṃ imaṃ Anukampaṃ upādāya patiganhātu uttama Adhivāsetu no bhante vesajjaṃ parikappitaṃ Anukampaṃ upādāya patiganhātu uttama Adhivāsetu no bhante sabbaṃ saddhāya pūjitaṃ Anukampaṃ upādāya patiganhātu uttama Vandāmi cetiyaṃ sabbaṃ sabbathānesu patiṭṭhitaṃ Sāririka dhātu mahābodhiṃ buddha rūpaṃ sakalaṃ sadā Yassa mūle nisinno va sabbāri vijayaṃ akā Pato sabbaññataṃ sattā vandetaṃ bodhipādapam ime ete mahabodhi lokanathena pujita ahampite namassami bodhiraja namattute kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya katang accayan khamame bhante bhuripanya tathagata kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya katang accayan khamame dhamma sanditthika akalika kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya katang accayan khamame sangha supatipanna anuttara ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo imina punya kammene mami bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya idamme punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu sadhu sadhu sadhu. Excuse me. So, if you have just joined us, we have just finished worshipping the Buddha. Every day we go live at 6:30, enabling you to participate in religious observances here at the London Mindfulness Meditation Center, so that you can participate in the worship, chanting, listening to some advice of the Buddha from the Dhammapada, so Dhamma reflection, and doing meditation on loving kindness. So from September 1st we will go live at 7 o'clock. And if your friends do not have Facebook but you'd like them to join with you, please direct them to YouTube channel lmmc.online, and then you can subscribe and you also get notifications for you to participate in the daily religious observances. So today the sponsors, Mr. Priyanta and Mrs. Shamali Pagodarachi, would like to bless their daughter Jasmine, who is celebrating her 13th birthday today. So she's beginning her teenage years. And may the blessings of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha be upon her for her well-being, for her education and successful future. May all her righteous, as well as their family, may all their righteous aspirations be fulfilled. So they are also joined by Shamal Mahabalagedon, brother of Shamali, as well as their second daughter Bimalka. So the two daughters, Jasmine and Bimalka, along with their parents, Priyant and Shamali, came to the temple to make offerings a few moments ago. So now we are going to chant Paritta Sutta, blessing them, blessing the family, and especially Jasmine, who is celebrating her 13th birthday. And also you as an online community, we bless you with the blessings of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. May you be blessed with every good health and happiness and success, especially during this lockdown time. May you be blessed for good health, and also may you have every peace of mind. So with those kind intention, we start our chanting. Please bear in your mind if anyone who is ill, may they have speedy recovery. So bring them to your thoughts and minds when you listen to the chanting. Furthermore, if as always, we dedicate this to the well-being of all key workers. May all the key workers, especially NHS staff, doctors and nurses, also have good health and happiness, along with courage and determination to continue their valuable services to the nation. So with those intentions, we begin our chanting. So please listen to the chanting with great respect and attention. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajassa Sunantu Saggamukadang Parittasavana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Parittasavana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Yani Bhutani Samagatani Bhummani Vayani Vayantalikhe Sabbeva Bhuta Sumana Bhavantu Atopi Sakkacca Sunantu Bhasitang Tasmahi Bhutani Sametha Sabbe Mettang Karothe Manusiya Pajaye Divacharato Chaharanti Baling Tasmahine Rakkata Appamatta Yang Kinchi Vittang Idhavahurang Vasagge Suvayang Ratanang Panitang Nano Samang Attita Tahagatena Idampi Buddhe Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Kayang Viragang Amatang Panitang Yadajjaga Sakya Muni Samahito Natena Dhammena Samadhi Kinchi Idampi Dhamme Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Yang Buddha Settha Parivannai Suching Samadhimanantari Kanyamahu Samadhina Tena Samona Vijjati Idampi Dhamme Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Ye Puggala Attha Satang Pasattha Chattari Etani Yugani Honti Te Dakhineya Sugatassa Savakaye Te Sudinnani Mahaphalani Idampi Sanghe Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Ye Suppayutta Manasa Dalhena Nikamino Gotama Sasanamhi Te Patti Patta Amatang Vigaihe Ladda Mudha Nibbuting Bhunjamana Idampi Sanghe Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Yathinda Khilo Pathaving Sitosiya Chatumbhivatebi Asampekampiyo Tathupamang Sappuri Sangvadami Yo Variya Satchani Avecce Passati Idampi Sanghe Ratanang Panitang Etena Satchena Suvatti Hotu Ye Ariya Satchani Vibhavayanti Gambhira Panyena Sudesitani කිංචාපිතේ හොන්ති බුසප්පමත්තානතේ භවං අට්ඨමං ආදියන්ති ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු සහවස්ස දස්සන සම්පදාය තයස්සු ධම්මා ජහිතා භවන්ති සක්කාය දිට්ඨි විචිකිච්ඡිතං ච සීලබ්බතං වාපි යදත්ති කිංචි චතුහ පායේහි ච විප්පමුත්තෝ ච චාබිඨානානි අභබ්බෝ කාතුං ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු කිංචාපිසෝ කම්මං කරෝති පාපකං කායේන වාචා උදචේතසාවා අභබ්බෝසෝ තස්ස පටිච්චාදාය අභබ්බතා දිට්ඨ පදස්ස බුත්තා ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු වනප්පගුම්බේ යතහා පුස්සිතග්ගේ ගිම්හාන මාසේ පඨමස්මින් ගිම්හේ තතුපමං ධම්ම වරං අදේසයි නිබ්බානගාමින් පරමං හිතාය ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු වරෝ වරඤ්ඤෝ වරදෝ වරාහරෝ අනුත්තරෝ ධම්ම වරං අදේසයි ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු තීනං පුරාණං නවං නත්ථි සම්භවං විරත්ත චිත්තා ආයතිකේ භවස්මින් තේඛීන බීජා අවිරුල්හිච්ඡන්දා නිබ්බන්ති ධීරා යථායං පදීපෝ ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වයන්තලික්ඛේ තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං බුද්ධං නමස්සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වයන්තලික්ඛේ තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං ධම්මං නමස්සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වයන්තලික්ඛේ තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං සංඝං නමස්සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන දුක්ඛාවුපසමින්තු තේ ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන භයාවුපසමින්තු තේ ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන රෝගාවුපසමින්තු තේ සිරිධිති මති තේජෝ ජය සිද්ධි මහිද්ධි මහාගුණං අපරිමිත පුඤ්ඤාධිකාරස්ස සබ්බන්තරාය නිවාරණ සමත්තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස ද්වත්තිං සමහා පුරිස ලක්ඛනානුභාවේන අසීත්‍යනු ව්‍යංජන ලක්ඛනානුභාවේන අට්ඨුත්තර සත මංගල ලක්ඛනානුභාවේන චබ්බන්නරං ස්යානුභාවේන කේතුමාලානුභාවේන දස පාරමිතානුභාවේන දස උපපාරමිතානුභාවේන දස පරමත්ත පාරමිතානුභාවේන සීල සමාධි පඤ්ඤානුභාවේන බුද්ධානුභාවේන ධම්මානුභාවේන සංඝානුභාවේන තේජානුභාවේන ඉද්ධානුභාවේන බලානුභාවේන ඤේය ධම්මානුභාවේන චතුරාසීති සහස්ස ධම්මක්ඛන්ධානුභාවේන නවලෝකුත්තර ධම්මානුභාවේන අට්ඨංගික මග්ගානුභාවේන අට්ඨ සමාපත්ත්‍යානුභාවේන ඡලභිඤ්ඤානුභාවේන මෙත්තා කරුණා මුදිතා උපේක්ඛානුභාවේන සම්බ පාරමිතානුභාවේන රතනත්තය සරණානුභාවේන ත්විහං සබ්බ රෝග සෝක උපද්දව දුක්ඛ දෝමනස්සුපායාසා විනස්සන්තු සබ්බ සංකප්පා ත්විහං සමිජ්ජහන්තු දීඝායුකෝ හෝතු සතවස්ස ජීවේන සමංගිකෝ හෝතු සබ්බදා ආකාශපම්බත වන භූමි තටාක ගංගා මහා සමුද්ද ආරක්කක දේවතා සදා තුම්හෙ අනුරක්ඛන්තු සම්බ බුද්ධානුභාවේන සබ්බ ධම්මානුභාවේන සබ්බ සංඝානුභාවේන බුද්ධ රතනං ධම්ම රතනං සංඝ රතනං තින්නං රතනානං ආනුභාවේන චතුරාසීති සහස්ස ධම්මක්ඛන්ධානුභාවේන පිටකත්තයානුභාවේන ජිනසාවකානුභාවේන සම්බේතේ රෝගා සබ්බේතේ භයා සබ්බේතේ අන්තරායා සම්බේතේ උපද්දවා සබ්බේතේ දුන්නිමිත්තා සම්බේතේ අවමංගලා විනස්සන්තු ආයු වඩ්ඩකෝ ධන වඩ්ඩකෝ සිරි වඩ්ඩකෝ යස වඩ්ඩකෝ බල වඩ්ඩකෝ වන්න වඩ්ඩකෝ සුඛ වඩ්ඩකෝ හෝතු සබ්බදා දුක්ඛ රෝග භයා වේරා සෝකා සබ්බේ පද්දවා අනේකා අන්තරායාපි විනස්සන්තු ච තේජසා ජය සිද්ධි ධනං ලාභං සොත්ති භාග්‍යං සුඛං බලං සිරියායුච වන්නෝ ච භෝගං බුද්ධි ච යසවා සතවස්සා ච ආයු ච ජීව සිද්ධි භවන්තු තේ ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ලෝක සාසනං ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ධම්ම දේශනං ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු මං පරන්ති සාදු සාදු සාදු. So that brings us to the close of this first session. In a few moments, after a short break, we will continue with our Dhamma reflection and meditation on loving kindness. So as the main sponsors today, Mr. Priyanta and Mr. Shamalipa Budarachi, along with Shamali's brother, Shamal Mabodalgedon, would like to bless Jasmine, the elder daughter, a very happy birthday. So she is celebrating her birthday today, and many, many happy returns of the day, and the sponsorship as well as the merit accumulated by today's Buddha Puja, listening to chanting, and next in a few moments listening to Dhamma reflection and doing meditation, loving kindness. May they all be conducive for her well-being. May she be blessed by the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. May all her righteous aspirations be fulfilled. May she have a very successful future. They'd also like to bless the younger daughter Bimalka, who is also beginning her secondary school this September next week. So may she also have a bright future with every success in her education. May both daughters take every righteous steps and be successful in their future. So with those kind intention, along with you as an online community and from the London Mindfulness Meditation Center, we wish Jasmine a very happy birthday. So with that short Punyanumodana, we will take a short break. If your friends do not have Facebook, you can direct them to a YouTube channel, lmmc.online, and also participate with the second session. So we will take a short break for now. See you soon. Okay, welcome back. Thank you for staying and with patience. It gives us a short time to stretch ourselves or even have a short sip of water. So this session is to reflect or to listen to a short reflection, and we'll end up with meditation on loving kindness. So for those who are completely new to our broadcast, this is we began our online series during this rains retreat since the full moon day in July, and we will finish this with our robe offering ceremony in October 24th. So on 24th October we'll have our robe offering ceremony. So we have been reflecting on verses from the Dhammapada, a book with a collection of Buddha's advice to monks and many individual lay people. And sometimes they are in a couple, sometimes they are simply reflecting the incident or the situation. However, I try to connect it to our personal lifestyles. So today is very important, and something perhaps you have something that you may have heard. This is the 67th verse out of 423 verses, and it comes in the chapter Balavagga, the 5th chapter on fools. So the Pali stanza is as such: Natang kammang katang sadhu yang katva anutappati Yassa assumukho rodang vipakang patisevati. So natang kammang katang sadhu. So not doing any deed, okay, which after having done you regret. Anuttappati means you regret. So natang kammang katang sadhu, not doing such actions, sadhu, it's well done. So if you avoid doing any deed that which might end up with regrets, simply avoid them. So what sort of actions? Obviously, the actions that bring you to a stage of weeping, and obviously with the asumukho rodang is tearful face. Asumukho rodang, tearful face, you reap the fruits, or you actually face bad consequences. So this was to do with a small incident that an innocent farmer had faced. So I'll quickly go through the story. So this is how the Buddha saved that farmer. So one day some thieves were dividing some stolen valuables and cash or coins amongst themselves in a field. After the division, they went away, but they accidentally left behind a bag of stolen money. So early in the morning on that day, the Buddha, on surveying the world with his supernatural power, perceived that a farmer cultivating near that field would realize the Dhamma on that very day. So the Buddha went there, accompanied by Venerable Ananda. The farmer, on seeing the Buddha, paid respects to him and continued to plough the field. The Buddha, on seeing the bag of money, commented, "Ananda, look at that very poisonous snake." And Venerable Ananda replied, "Yes, Venerable Sir, it is indeed a very poisonous snake." Now, this is with reference to that bag of money that the thieves had left. Then both the Buddha and Ananda continued on their way. The farmer, on hearing the remarks, went to investigate if there really was a snake. Instead, he found the bag of money. He took the bag and hid it. Just then, the people who had been robbed came to the field in pursuit of the robbers, and tracing the footprints of the farmer, found the bag of money. They beat up the farmer and took him to the king, who sentenced him to death. They took him to the cemetery to be killed, but the farmer kept on repeating the discussion the Buddha and Venerable Ananda had. "Ananda, look at that poisonous snake." "Yes, Venerable Sir, it is indeed a very poisonous snake." When the king's men heard the above dialogue between the Buddha and Ananda being repeated all the way, they were puzzled and took him back to the king. Who guessed that the farmer was calling upon Buddha as a witness. He had therefore taken to the presence of the Buddha. After hearing from the Buddha everything that had happened in the morning, the king remarked, if he had not been able to call upon the Buddha as a witness to his innocence, this man would have been killed. The Buddha then replied, "A wise man should not do anything that he would regret after doing it." So as such is the story. So this is in the chapter of the fools. So fools would normally, or someone here in the fool is, we've been identifying as people not possessing noble qualities, such as even kindness, compassion, or even being able to rejoice at other people's successes. And yesterday we reflected that a wise person is such that would have confidence, saddha, sila, morality, hiri, sense of shame to do evil, ottappa, sense of fear to do evil, sutta would continue to be learning, generosity as chaga, and knowledge, panya, develop wisdom. So these are the noble qualities, but in this case this stanza is quite important because this is saying that if we do something, if we consciously do, now the farmer with greed hid the money that was not his. So again, he touched something that was not that didn't belong to him, and also he did so that he had this greedy thoughts that he would obviously use the money. Now, had he not done that, obviously he would not be in the situation as the penalty in the story. But there are many times which we may do certain actions, and asumukho rodang, in terms of regrets, remorse, and maybe even the word guilt. So let us not do anything that leads us to a situation where we might be guilty, because when you have this guilt, it does haunt you and torture you for as long as you have it. So we have to be mindful of this situation. Yes, we are humans. We are not enlightened people, and we make mistakes. Now, when we make mistakes, obviously, if you are not mindful, you would make a wrong choice, wrong decision, and fair enough, we do make wrong decisions. Some of them could be as trials, but then later on we realize that is not a right thing or right decision we made. Ascetic Gautama also tried certain theories that were available then. He gave up food and fasted. Later on he realized that it was not the right choice. He then took the alternative. He did not dwell on the fact that he nearly died, he fainted, but he moved on, and then later on developed confidence in his choice of right path, taking the middle way, and eventually he attained enlightenment, and now we call him the Buddha. So as humans, as we are prone to making mistakes, we can't erase that from our memories, but we can develop skills to be mindful of it, or when it comes like guilt. Because when guilt hits you, most of the time what we do is we blame ourselves all the time. And sometimes in relationships it happens, or sometimes in certain things. So if it was for a relationship, for example, there's no point you taking the blame, because obviously it's two people in the relationship. But when it comes to certain actions that might, for example, even in terms of expenditure or your habitual patterns, the guilt that we might develop is something that we really have to be conscious of, because it does create a big psychological damage and harm to yourself. So as in the Satipatthana Sutta, in the discourse on the fourfold mindfulness, we have to develop a skill to identify when such thoughts come to our head. And let's not dwell in it. Now, Buddhists will develop the skill to not dwell in the thought. We will not get involved with whatever has arisen in our thoughts. Habitually we might, but a person who is mindful will develop such skill that will not involve with the thought that arose. And as I said, sometimes we will be in a situation to have to take a decision. And when we take a decision, I think it is the best of all the decisions one could possibly take, given the conditions or even the situation of your mind. But if we realize after a couple of days that it was not the right choice, I think we must learn how to let go. Don't torture yourself with the guilt, and don't harm yourself with the guilt. Let's not cook the guilt in our head. Let's free ourselves from that guilt. Because the mistakes we make is like falling into a pit, maybe in the night time, and then in the daytime, if you fall in the same pit, that means you haven't learned a lesson. So guilt can be positive in a way to show us the right path. Okay, this is not the right path. But if you make the same mistake by falling into the same hole, even during daytime, by making same mistakes, then one, it is not guilt, but it is our silliness and ignorance, as the chapter says about the foolish things we do. We have to overcome that. Let us not fall into the same pit hole, make same mistakes. And this reflection is quite important, because when we actually develop this reflection, we replace maybe guilt, or replace remorse or regrets with self-compassion. We develop compassion to ourselves. We're not going to be harsh on ourselves. We're not going to be we're not going to stay and keep blaming yourself. The blaming faculty that we have, we will let go, because you are kind and compassionate to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Take the error or take the mistake as a signpost, and never ever do that mistake again. And once you realize that you have done a mistake and you move on, there is a lot we can do. The human potential is so great that you can actually regenerate all your skills again through developing compassion for yourself. Don't dwell in that small mistake that one could have committed. Because one, you can't go back and change the history or change what had happened. Two, it was a decision made based on the situations and circumstances and the conditions that were there then. Yes, you might be in a different position now. So be kind to yourself and forgive yourself. As much as we forgive a small toddler when they make mistakes, we also may have made that mistake given our intelligence or our capacity of handling or contemplating at that moment. So forgive yourself. Don't dwell in that blame that could come about within yourself. Angulimala realized that he was doing a mistake, killing people. As a serial murderer, he realized what he was doing when the Buddha said to stop harming people. And he was deluded. If we also are deluded and continue to make the same mistakes, falling into the same hole all the time, or just neglecting our responsibilities and cheekily always doing mistakes with hook or crook attitude, trying to gain and always live a hedonistic life without showing any regards to other people, then that is wrong. But the moment you realize certain things are wrong, whether it is your lifestyle, whether it is your habits, whether it is your mistakes, or whether it is conscious or silly mistakes, make it a healthy signpost that never ever to do it again. And that reflection is quite important. So when certain remorse, regrets or guilt come to your head, to your mind, know its presence, see its presence, and just let it go by developing or diverting your mind into compassion. Divert your mind into a positive way of trying to be gentle to yourself. Never be harsh on yourself, because if you're harsh on yourself, if you always blame yourself on that, I think there'll be no progress, there'll be no grounds for regenerating our personal way of living or even life. So if you are mindful, so as the Gatha says, Natang kammang gatang sadhu, so don't do things that will make you regret later on. So let's not make the same mistake. Let's not make even a mistake that might be that might bring you to such a situation that you might regret in the end. So only a mindful person can maybe be cautious about this, in doing things, in saying things that you might regret, one might regret later on. So Natang kammang katang sadhu yang katva anutapati. Don't do things that might make you regret later on. And lots of the time, some people, there are many things that we might do in life. But if you're mindful, being generous, looking after our elders and parents, being kind to each other, being kind to in the mutual relationship that you have with each other as partners, or relationships that you have, being kind to your children, kind to your friends, because there might be a moment, a slightest mistake might happen because of your lack of mindfulness. Then sometimes things might blow up into a different situation where you might regret later on. So, especially in the hindsight, or in the situation of this pandemic as well, the things that we might do, our health conditions, everything, we might have to be very mindful of each other. So let's not regret by actually doing something that we might. Let's not do something that we might later on regret. So appreciate everything, be kind to each other, and develop this self compassion that we are talking about. And therefore the gatha or the verse is reminding us to be very mindful of the things that you do, the things that you say, and especially in the community that you live in, or even in the family that you live in, or in your own personal family or acquaintance. So with that short reflection on being mindful on the things that we do, let us not do anything that might end up with consequences of regrets and guilt. Okay? So with that short reflection, let us now take some moment to develop the type of kindness that we have been thinking. Kindness that is only possible when you have a still mind, or kindness without any expectations. Okay, so first of all, I make 3 requests as usual. So sit straight. So once you have your balanced body, which means not resting your arms and also your back. Unless you have a physical difficulty, try to avoid resting your back as well. So coming forward, so right hand on your left palm. And thirdly, gently close your eyes. Just completely stop thinking about everything. But simply bring your attention to the way your body is posed. Just look at your body and see the peace in the body. When I say peace, it is not in motion, it is quiet, it is peaceful. And that peace of that peace in the body is a complete contrast when your body is restless. So observe that absence of restlessness in the body. Be mindful of that peace, that quietness, stillness in the body. Not expecting anything because you have completely let go of your commitments. And you have committed to this sitting, and you are not wanting to do anything but simply stay in peace. Since your body is not in motion, you might notice or experience certain pain or itchiness, but simply let it go. Now be mindful of the people that are sitting with you. Perhaps some family members also joining you, supporting your practice this evening. And it's important to notice and appreciate each other's support. Appreciate that mutual support that you have. Don't pay attention to those who have not joined you, but pay attention to those who are with you. Be happy for those who haven't joined you, whatever they are doing. Be happy for that. Even if they are disturbing, just let it go. Don't comment. Free your mind and stay still. And also observe the infrastructure around you. Simply a quick scan, and you notice everything is still. The only thing that might not be still would be your mind if it is wandering. So let's learn how to stop the mind wander as well. If your mind is wandering, it means it is looking for something. It is looking for attention or excitement. So simply discard anything that your mind is wanting to do. Just observe that wanting, that desire that you, even if you are wanting to open your eyes or stand, they are all your likes or something that you want to do, which means you are showing dislike of what is happening. So you have to free yourself from that likes and wants. When you free yourself from that likes and wants, then you can be friends with the dislike as well, because you are not looking for different things. You are noticing the things even that might not be in your likes list. So when we are looking for something that excites your mind, there is a bar or there is something that you're looking for, and when that is there, you have a criteria, and that criteria is the condition that you develop. It has to meet those conditions. There is a measurement in everything, and whatever is not met through that measurement or criteria or conditions, then you simply continue to look, getting dissatisfied. So free yourself from that. When it is to do with other people, those conditions become so harsh. It turns into grudges and anger or argument. So when those conditions are brought forward in a discussion in your head while you are discussing, or those conditions are in a preconceived format, you always might be anxious or fearful, or even the interaction or the discussion that you have is with raised voice, can turn into a very bitter situation, and that is all because of the dissatisfaction that you may develop. So if it happens, just notice those when it happens. So where everything is ignored or discarded, there is nothing in the mind. That peace, that stillness in the mind is all results of kindness. Because when you have those thoughts, those expectations and dissatisfaction, your mind is always in stress mode, frustration, anger, which might develop to an ill-wishing attitude, which is very dangerous, so we need to discard them. So instead we develop well-wishing thoughts, forgiveness, patience, and joy for others, no revenge, no jealousy. These are healthy emotions. If you develop joy and compassion and kindness, okay? So wish these to yourself. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to me. May no problems come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May I always meet with success. May I also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. So every moment, if you have this in your thoughts, you won't be doing things that would harm yourself. May I be free from anger and jealousy. May I be free from frustration, anxiety and worries. May I be free from pain and suffering. Let's share similar thoughts with those you are associated with. Skip the stations if they don't relate to you. Don't also recall those who have passed away, but simply develop this well-wishing thought for others as well. May my parents, grandparents, teachers, uncles and aunts, in-laws, husband, wife or partner, children, grandchildren, brothers and sisters, cousins, nephews and nieces, friends, colleagues at work, neighbors, and everyone you meet neutrally but every day. May they all be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from anger and jealousy. May they be free from frustration, anxiety and worries. May they be free from pain and suffering. May all living beings be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from pain and suffering. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be free from pain and suffering. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So we come to a close of today's broadcast with our daily Buddha Puja, chanting, Dhamma reflection and meditation. So today the sponsors Mr. Priyanta Pagodarachi and Mrs. Shamali Pagodarachi would like to bless their elder daughter Jasmine, who is celebrating her birthday today. May she be blessed by the triple gem, by all merit accumulated. Also joining are Shamal Balagidon and the younger daughter Bimalka. So may they all enjoy good health, happiness, success and prosperity. May every righteous aspirations be fulfilled. So may the merit accumulated be conducive for their well-being and happiness. Similarly, you as an online community as well, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May the merit accumulated by participating in this Vaspinkham or this religious observances during Rains retreat be helpful and conducive for your well-being and good health and happiness. So with those kind intentions we come to a close. If you would like to sponsor a day, please do contact us. There are plenty of days available. We finish this series on 24th of October when we hold our robe offering ceremony. From September the 1st we go live at 7 o'clock, and this weekend we have two Dhamma sermons, one Saturday at 9:30 in Sinhala by Venerable Polumre Sorta Nayaka Thera, and on Sunday, our last Sunday of the month, Dhamma sermon at 7 p.m. after the puja. That sermon will go for an hour. Tomorrow is meditation on mindfulness, developing mindfulness, being Thursday. So if you are a regular participant, please do anticipate those as well. So thank you for joining with us so far. Have a very restful evening. Take care. Stay safe. Good night.